Anointed ones, welcome to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry, where I am your host, Brother Minister Mongoose. And if you'd like some information in terms of what this ministry is all about, I'm going to refer you guys back to chapter 1 on this video series and or several other videos, or all of the other videos that I've posted pretty much since the last couple of years. Gives that information. So I wanted to get straight to the chase when it comes to this chapter 2 here, and I'm trying to minimize these messages as best I can. So anytime there's a 2 or more part series, I won't regurgitate any of the information that I gave out about the ministry during the previous chapter. So I've welcomed you guys. I value every single one of you guys. Please know that. Thanks for all the love and support. And without further ado, we're going to get off here into this chapter here, where if you didn't watch chapter 1, please do so. It obviously sets the table for this chapter 2. We're talking about run, fight, fly. And I touched on all of those different phases of our spiritual journey as anointed ones. And I failed to go over in detail, or in the detail that it deserves at least, what it means to be on this third level, if you will, this level of fly. So I would be remiss if I hadn't made a chapter 2 to go over that a little bit more. After all, this is the crescendo of it all, if you will. This is the finishing of the race, at least as it relates to us going through the awakening in its entirety. What's required for us to now say we're awakened? And obviously, as I mentioned in chapter 1, there's more awakening, more journey, more growth, more evolution to be experienced. But again, we can't go to grad school, if we haven't gone through, pre-K, elementary, high school, and all that good stuff. So we're going to be talking about it today. What this level looks like. This is why we go through it, guys. This is the phase of the completed phase from a caterpillar to a butterfly. This is what the enormous difference is like, and this is what the enormous transformation is like. The enormous metamorphosis that are born directly out of going through the phase of running and fighting. This is the phase, guys, where we stop worrying. We stop worrying. We stop doubting ourselves. We begin to embrace the truth of all that we have experienced. The heartache, the headache, the challenges, the self-improvements, the mistakes we made along the way. Begin to just embrace it all. And we just stop worrying about it all. We stop worrying about running. We stop worrying about fighting. We begin to realize that everything that we went through, it didn't break us. It didn't break us. And we began to see, you begin to see, as I begin to see, as it relates to me, and as we all, those of us who complete the journey, we began to see the beauty in ourselves personally and individually, as well as being able to see, to spot, recognize, and appreciate and celebrate the beauty in all those who have that matching energy. Doesn't mean we're going to fit in, like puzzle pieces, but there's going to be this mutual feeling, this mutual admiration, this mutual sense of celebration and acknowledgement that that guy, that girl completed a journey that I completed in different ways on their own personal journey, but I sense that in their spirit, and that's a beautiful thing. I celebrate them. I salute them. This is the phase that we get to when we get to this fly stage, this fly phase. And this is why it's so important that whatever phase that you are on, remember, there's a prize at the end. There's a reward at the end. You're just not going through this for the sake of just going through it. It's a literal caterpillar to a butterfly. And again, you begin to see the beauty of you. You begin to see your worth and your value. You begin to see your strength, your importance, and you begin to accept the fact that you do make a difference. All of these things may have discarded, lost, abandoned, taken for granted, not recognized during the previous phases. But now you're able to humbly, yet unapologetically look yourself in the mirror, look life in the mirror, and say that it was all worth it. This is what we're fighting for. This is why, if whatever phase you're going on, as I mentioned in chapter 1, that's the phase that you're meant to be on. Whatever phase you're going through, I should say, that's the phase that you're meant to be going through right now. I'm a senior citizen. I can go out to pre-K and see some kids going to pre-K for the first day. Doesn't mean that I'm going to end up, because I'm where I'm at now, that I'm better than them. No, that kid could vastly surpass me in ways that I can't even imagine in terms of courage, intelligence, and positively affecting the world. I'm not looking down on them because, I'm a senior citizen, I've already been through that, they're just getting started. No. That would be a lot less than absurd. So whatever level you're on, that's the level that you're meant to be on. Just like that kindergartner or the guy or girl who's struggling to finish up at college so they can get to grad school, or anywhere in between. This is where you're supposed to be. And if you're on one of these levels that just very loosely and innocently speaking, that's okay, you're just getting started on one of those levels. I refer to it as a kindergarten level, but again, that's very innocently speaking. Whatever level you're on, just keep going. This is why we always say, if you're going through hell, just don't stop. If you stop in kindergarten or if you stop in high school, that's the level you're going to end up at. So just keep going, guys. Because there's a beautiful, unimaginable reward that's waiting for you. It's like that caterpillar that's crawling on the ground and going through the struggles and going through the challenges, going through the obstacles of being a caterpillar. And then he looks up one day and see a butterfly and he said, man, I don't care what happened, man. You'll never get me up in one of those. He can't even imagine that that's exactly where he's headed to. He can't imagine the beauty, the splendor, and the wonder that awaits him. Keep going, guys, because when you get there, you experience this enormous return of you. You begin to become that which you are and always have been. It just was buried in dirt, in poor choices, in downloaded indoctrinations by parents, the system, religion, friends, whatever. It was just buried. But once you cleared all those hurdles, you open up into this beautiful return of you. That's a new and improved you. The love is amplified 1,000-fold. Your love, your joy, your appreciation for life. Again, your appreciation for who you are, your appreciation for those who did you wrong, your appreciation for that heart gut-wrenching thing that you had to deal with when you realized that you had done somebody else wrong. You can appreciate the value of the lessons learned from both perspectives. Your zest, your enthusiasm, your compassion for life, your compassion in life, I should say, your compassion for others. It's returned. And again, all these things are returned abundantly so. You don't begin this awakening with X amount of love, X amount of confidence, X amount of joy and zest and all these things for life. And then after you go through them, then you come out and these things are restored. No, they're restored to you 1,000-fold. Again, the children of Israel, when they came out of the desert, they didn't go to no similar or like circumstances that they had before they went into the desert. No, they exited with much, much more. They exited into a land flowing with milk and honey, and so will you. This is when you complete the journey. And you don't try and skip none of the steps. If you're running and that's what's working and that's what's feel right and that's what you need to do, then run. See chapter 1 for what I mean by run. If you're fighting and that's what you need to do, that's what's working for you, then fight. When you come out, that's when the reward takes place. And every day that you fight or every day that you run, but you don't surrender. You just did what you needed to do to get by, to get through that day, to get through that moment of heartache, knowing that you were living the wrong path, a heartache of knowing that you was treating somebody wrong, heartache of somebody treating you wrong. You just did what you needed to do to get by, and every time you get by and you take up the task, the next moment, the next situation, you're getting a little bit stronger to ultimately, again, you clear that level, you clear that hurdle, you clear that phase, and you move on to the next phase until ultimately you get to this phase where you're flying now. You're flying now. You come out better off than you were before you went in. And this applies to one's physical health as well. Keep in mind that all the toxicity, the challenges of having to do self-correction by way of this thing that we call God, the challenges of having to let go of this person, let go of that belief system, this person walking out of your life when you need them the most. All of those challenges present an enormous amount of stress. Physically, mentally, psychologically, socially, spiritually, there's an enormous amount of stress. And this stress has a place, a bearing, a not so positive effect on one's physicality, the physical of a person. But even that is restored and renewed to an even greater extent. Because you're not dealing with all that stress. You're not dealing with all that hurt, that pain. So even your physical man or woman will be enhanced and improved and increased, renewed in ways that you can't even imagine being in a caterpillar state, if you will. Keep going. This includes your finances as well. You don't come out with whatever amount of money you were making weekly or annually. Before you went into that awakening, you were certain amount of figures you were making. When you went through that awakening, those finances may have taken a hit, may have taken a drastic hit. But everything is being torn down, everything being broken up so that it could be reestablished to an even greater, more potent degree. That's all around in your life. Remember, that caterpillar, it has everything that it needs inside of it. It doesn't have to go out and eat this or come across this or learn that or engage in this. Everything that it needs is inside of it. Everything it needs to become a butterfly is inside of it. It's all rearranged. It's all broken down. It's all desynthesized and resynthesized. So then there's an enormous metamorphosis that's taking place. So your finances, just like your friends and your health, your confidence, all these things, they may have taken a hit. But when you come back out on that other side, you're going to have more finances than you did before you went in. And this is not a what you would call a prosperity ministry. This is not one of those ministries that sit around and just blow smoke and telling people, if you plant this seed and God's going to give you this and God's going to give you that. Yes, He is, but you have to be willing to go through the fire. So when I say your finances will be renewed, that's coming from a genuine and a very truthful place. It's not coming from just this word of mouth prosperity ministries that's out there. Everything about you is going to be renewed to an even greater degree. You're going to find when you get into this, when you get on this flight level, and don't rush it. Don't rush it, guys. I'm not promoting that you become stagnant. I'm not promoting that you sit around and become lethargical. I'm just saying know the truth about it all. You can't go from first grade to fifth grade to grad school. You gotta, my dad, may peace and blessings be upon him, used to always say, you know what? It takes 25 years to become 25 years old. You don't go from 21 and a half to 25. You don't go from 18 to 21. You got to complete every single day. So don't rush it. It's coming. When you're ready to move, you could try to be stagnant if you want. If your heart is in the right place, you could try to be stagnant and keep on running or keep on fighting. When it's time for you to move, He's going to move you, just like He moved you into the initiatory stages of your awakening and all of the phases that follow that. Trust in the process, guys. When you get to this fly phase, you're going to be renewed. You're going to all of a sudden feeling, I'm giving you some signs, some things that that either lets you know that you're on this fly or you're in this fly phase, or if you're not, what you can expect as signs, indicators, and situations that will evolve once you do get there, as well as to remind you what you're fighting for. Because when you're going through that storm, when you're going through the phases that are prior to entering into this fly phase, there's going to be hopes, there's going to be dreams, commitments, things that are going to suffer. They're going to take a hit. Maybe you give up. Maybe you stop pursuing. Maybe you lose sight of. Maybe you take it down several notches on your priority of things to do. Your priority list of things to do. But when you get to this fly zone, it's all going to be renewed. You're going to notice there's a renewed commitment to old goals, a renewed commitment to old hobbies. Saving X amount of money, buying a house, going on vacation, losing weight, whatever it is. It's going to be a renewed fire, a renewed commitment to old goals and old hobbies. Hey, this is really what brings me joy. I kind of got away from that. Was one of my favorite pastimes when I was in high school. And guess what? It still is. I just got away from it. Everything is increased. New optimism, new faith to a more greater degrees. Clarity, taking off. You know who you are. You know your beauty. You know your worth. You know who your enemies are. You know how they operate. Your clarity has been multiplied 1,000,000-fold. Your confidence, which definitely took a hit. Finances were messed up. People were talking about you. People were walking out on you. Things that you were fighting for in terms of what you believed in and what you stood for, all those things had to be torn down, burned away. So the confidence took a hit. but you're going to be renewed, even 1,000-fold. Not to arrogance, not to ego, but good old-fashioned, humble confidence. That's going to be renewed. You're also going to have new friends. You're going to get new friends. New friends that are on the level that you're on, that are about what it is that you're about. Remember, once this caterpillar becomes a butterfly, what's it hanging out with now? Butterflies. They're on the same level. They've gone through the same metamorphosis. They see eye to eye. So all the old friends that you grew away from, that grew away from you, that you had to let go, that walked out of your life, whatever the case may have been, your friends are going to be renewed, replaced. Newer friends, healthier friends. Ain't no more toxic relationships where you were just trying to get by and fighting so hard to make things work. Things are just flowing organically now. This guy, this girl, those people, they just resonate with you. You see eye to eye, and maybe not on every single thing that would be unnatural, but you see eye to eye in terms of goodness, cleanliness, wholeness, evolution, growth, justice, love, all these different things that really, really make a human being fulfilled. Look forward to the new friends and them being on the level that you're on, and you being on the level that they're on. So essentially, guys, all of your good qualities are going to be enhanced. All of your good qualities are going to be enhanced. All of your God-given qualities are going to be enhanced. And all of your not so good qualities are going to be eliminated, totally burned away, or they're going to be things that you know how to deal with in terms of realizing that maybe we're not all going to be operating in what we call perfection from a human standpoint. You're going to realize that your imperfections are a part of His perfection. His perfection is made whole in your and my imperfection. So you're going to be able to realize that these things are going to either be totally removed or essentially non-existent in terms of, you got to keep working on them. They don't bother you. They don't tear you down. They don't distract you. They don't get the best of you anymore. You're also going to be downloaded with new gifts, new talents, new abilities. Self-discipline, emotional control, social IQ, discernment, being able to stay humble, stay calm in the midst of the storm. You're going to be downloaded new abilities as a result of having gone through the run and the fight phase, and now entering into the fly stage. So at 4 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, start closing this message up. But as I mentioned, I would have been totally remiss if I didn't make a video dealing specifically with the fly phase of the journey, because this is what we're fighting for. This is what we're battling for. This is what we're hoping for. This is what we're praying for. This is what's our God-given destiny. We just can't quit fighting. And we can't rush the process. The old timers used to say, don't let your gifting take you where your character can't sustain you. Don't try to get ahead. We've heard stories and stories of times that somebody hit the lottery, but they hadn't conquered those demons within. So when they hit the lottery, they spent it all on alcohol and booze. They wasn't ready. So keep on keeping on, keep on hoping on in love, and know that you get there. It is your destiny. But you don't want to get there too early. You don't want somebody to come because you're in a hurry to finish school, and somebody come snatch you out of the 8th grade and put you in grad school, and now you ain't got a clue about what to do. You didn't master, whatever, geometry, trigonometry. You just skip right over that. Now you don't know what to do. Let patience serve its purpose. Let it have its good work. And know that when you're ready, nothing can stop you, nothing can prevent you, nothing can delay you, nothing can deter you, not even a little bit. So whatever level you're on, keep right on going. Don't stop there. Keep going. Reach out to this ministry if I could be of service to you guys. I'd love the opportunity to. I'm going to leave an email link down in the description box if you like prayer, motivation, if you'd like to inquire about the services that are provided by this ministry, whatever the case may be. Again, I'll leave an email link down in that. I always mention the physical fitness branch of the ministry located at mountfitnessmbs.com. And the Cash App link will be down in the description box if you'd like to make a monetary donation. And remember, guys, whatever good seed you pour into this ministry, I prophesy and release to you in the spiritual realm so that you can receive it in a very tangible way. The abundant harvest that the universe has promised to give you when you plant good seed in good ground. So keep that in mind. And know that if you got value out of today's message and you'd like to amplify, enhance the benefits of that value, here's some things that you can do to not just amplify the benefits for yourself, but amplify the benefits of others. Hit the share button, guys. Hit the subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. Hit the bell icon for notifications and the thumbs up button for the algorithm. Those are good seeds. Leave a comment. That's a good seed. Whatever good seed that you plant into this ministry, receive your harvest by faith. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Keep in mind this is a mind, body, and spirit ministry. And keep in mind that regardless of what you're going through, regardless of what phase that you're on, it is your divine responsibility and your divine anointing to make sure that your mind, your body, and your spirit remains as active, as beautiful, and as vibrant as possible. This ministry has been anointed to help you achieve such a goal. Reach out if I could be of assistance. I love you all whose hearts are in the right place. Keep in mind, I am Brother Minister Mongoose, and I will holler back.